DAX. This we are going to have a discussion at the end of a course for almost 6 to 8 days of time. Almost 8 days of time we are going to have a discussion. But now DAX is a querying language on Power Pivot or Power BI, or you can call it as a tabular SSAS. Tabular SSAS is nothing but Power BI, like Power Pivot only I mentioned. So whatever the model that you are constructing, like by loading the different sources of data, once you are done with your data model, if you want to analyze that model through query, we have a language called DAX, data analysis expressions. Data analysis expressions. So DAX is nothing but a data analysis expressions, which is a querying language on a Power Pivot model. Power Pivot is available on Excel, on a Power BI, and a tabular SSAS. These are the three places where Power Pivot is there. On top of it, if you wanted to analyze something, you have a DAX is there. With the help of DAX, we can create columns, you can create a measures, you can create a table. So with the help of DAX, you can do all these things. One second. Okay, fine. So with the help of a DAX, you can do three things. You can create a column, you can create a measure, and you can create a table. And here you cannot perform. Someone unmuted. Manoj, any questions? For a Power BI, DAX is 100% important, and DAX is nothing but that abbreviation is data analysis expressions. Why we require a DAX is whatever the model that you are constructing on a Power BI. So on top of a Power BI model, on top of a Power Pivot model, if you wanted to query on anything, we have a language called a DAX. With the help of a DAX, you just create a column or a measure or a table. In order to create these things, what a DAX provides is, DAX provides variables concept, operators, functions. You have a set of functions are there, DAX functions are there. With the help of that functions and operators, you are going to create an expression that can be a column or that can be a measure. What is a measure? I am going to explain now. So we have a concept called variables, operators, and functions. With these things, you can create the columns, measures, and the tables. Now in this session, we are going to understand what is a column and what is a measure. So measures is nothing but a calculated measures in your table and all the places. Now column. Before explaining a column, even though I said it's a querying language on a Power Pivot, with the help of a DAX, you cannot delete anything, you cannot update anything. Okay, so you can only retrieve the data, or you can create a column and you can create a measure. And the column is nothing but it's a calculated or a computed or derived, whatever you refer. It's a calculated, computed, or derived column which is created based on the existing columns with the help of functions. So we are going to derive a new column, or we are going to calculate a new column based on the existing columns with the help of the functions or operators, whatever the concept that we have in DAX. Let's consider a small scenario. You have a transaction date is there, but as part of your source system, you have sales information is there, transaction date is there, and product name is there, city is there, and sales amount is there. You need to represent the data based on a month or based on a year. You don't have a year column or a month column as part of your source. You have only date is there, which represents the day, month and year. At that time, you want to extract a year, you want to extract a month. So with the help of a functions, we are going to create a new column based on the existing columns. So column concept is nothing but we are going to create a new column based on the existing columns with the help of the operators or the functions that we have in DAX. And whatever the column that you created, that will get the data whenever you refresh the data set. So whenever you refresh the data set, that column will get evaluated. Whatever the expression that you are writing for that column, that will get evaluated and that will load the data. And Power BI will store the column data. So whatever the column that you created, whenever you refreshed, it is going to have some data, right, for that column. That will be stored in a Power Pivot model. So as you are storing in a Power Pivot model, it will occupy the memory. So if you have a 1 crore of records, if you create a new column, another 1 crore of a single column cells will be loaded there. It is going to occupy the memory. And whenever you create a column, so whenever you are using this one as part of your report, as it is already calculated, it will not take much time. It will immediately get the data. It is faster. Okay, fine. So it is a faster. Why? Because it is already saved the data as part of your model, and it is unique at a column level, at a table level. So in each table you can have a column, and like the same column name can be repeated in a multiple tables. So it is unique at a table level, and for all textual columns, textual or date related columns, we need to use columns. So these are the points associated with the new column option which is in a Power BI.